So, hello everyone, my name is Miklos Benz and I'm making a tutorial here about my technique making hand-painted textures without a tablet, with a mouse, whatever. I'm just making a base color for my strap here because that's what I'm going to show, how I made it. It's a gradient. I use a lot of blending options, I just make a darker color to the bottom side of this strap here, or object, so it has a 3D feel to it. And I'm making a top side a little bit brighter, so it has a 3D feel to it again. I blurred it so it has some kind of turbo smooth effect to it. It's not a straight line. You need to blur these things. What I'm going to do here is a mystery. Yeah, so I'm going to make a strap. I'm going to make a mid-tone gray for it because I'm going to turn this into an overlay mode, and in overlay, mid-tone gray doesn't show up. Use bevel and emboss, so the strap is going to pop out, from the background. So it is actually a strap. Right now, you can experiment, like adding drop shadow to these individual straps. That was okay, whatever, you know what I mean. So you can add the drop shadow to it, so it has fake ambient occlusion, but I didn't do it right here. I'm just pasting, rotating, and trying to make it look a bit random. So every one of these straps is on a different layer, so I can customize it and just have fun and move it around. Yeah, I don't know what is going on right now. Yeah, I'm merging the layers together, and turning them into overlay, and then check them out how they look in 3D. Yeah, that's really bad, but whatever. It's for tutorial purposes. I'm just talking here about my techniques, whatever. I realize it's through, it's not random enough, so I added the strap rotating around. I don't know what I'm doing, so it's really fun to watch. Yeah, so it's basically we have the straps down on different layers. At this point, you can add any kind of layer effect you want. The possibilities are endless, so it's really fun to make. Right now I'm making a new layer and clicking around like a retard, so it kinda looks like dirt. Whatever, I just picked a brush from my palette. I don't know what kind of brush was it, but you can generally click around with a chalk brush or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, once again I'm on my strap layer, and I'm using white on the top side of these things, so because it's in overlay I just paint it and they are going to show up really nice. I mean, yeah, so at the dark side, the black side, you wanna use black, as just I'm doing right now. I made a mistake here that I didn't check my details. That's one of the downside of this technique, that you don't actually see what you're doing until you switch to max, and the details were very, very small, so I had to make them a lot bigger so they show up nicely from further away, yeah, I'm clicking around, making it look like that I does know what I do, but I don't actually. So yeah, whatever. So it's getting together now, making them making them a bit more, you know, chaotic, so they are not a straight line. I mean, these straps. Yeah, does look really bad. Yeah, right now I'm changing the gradient, the base color. It's really easy. It's one of the advantages of using layer styles and stuff. You can change everything. I mean, literally everything from top to bottom because you have lots of layers. I don't know what the case with the hand painting techniques, but I don't know. I just enjoy this really much that I have total control over things. I mean, I just didn't like the colors, so I modified a little bit the gradient beneath it, and that's that. It's, it's, it's a little bit better right now. What I'm doing is I made a new layer and put it in overlay. I like that mode, overlay. Use it a lot. So I'm using a white brush with zero hardness or whatever, and making the edges pop out, you know, so they are not boring. Yeah, I'm naming things. That's really fun and advanced technique, naming layers. Yeah, whatever. So I made a new layer and brushed on the middle of the cylinder. So it looks round, you know, because that's the nearest place to the camera on this object. I colored it with highlight, you know, so it looks a little bit more 3D and stuff. You can always add another layer and darken the parts which are further away from the camera, like along my seams at the moment, you know. I could have done that, but I forgot it, so whatever. I added a new layer once again, lots of blending options. I added a bevel and emboss or whatever. I closed it. I don't know what the name is, so whatever. Little bit brightness adjustments because it's once again it's in overlay mode. So the further away I'm from mid-tone gray, the darker or brighter it's going to be. So you can just adjust these things with brightness and contrast really easily. So they do show up better. What the grammar is, don't know. So yeah, I didn't make the same mistake again. I just watched them from further away and they, you know, show up a little bit nicer. Added the drop shadow, trying to save what's possible so it doesn't look like a total piece of, yeah. So okay, checking the tones with the hue saturation level on top. I have actually an adjustment folder on top of these things, so the colors bring together nicely. I may show it or may not, I don't remember. But what I'm doing right now is making a cloud with the warm and the opposite cold color, you know, and I'm putting it on overlay, so it has a cold tint to it. You know, it's generally a warm color. It's this brown. And by adding this cloud, I have a little bit tint, a little bit blue tint there, you know. I just realized that my color is too close, sorry, to the wood, too similar. So the materials are not really well defined, you know. So I changed it a little bit more to green. So it, yeah. I'm just turning on my different layers and checking them how they look, you know. Yeah, and that's about it. It's, you know, just making it look 3D because it's a flat texture. You wanna spend a lot of time on shading. Yeah, I switched it to the final version of my texture and turned on the layers I talked about. So the colors are a little bit more together, you know. So that's about it for the first run. I don't know if you have any questions, ask them. I may answer them, may not. You know, comment, subscribe, whatever. Have fun with these techniques, and I hope you liked the video. and the usual. Sorry for my English and stuff. Okay, ciao.